Perçin, İstanbul! İmrek komutanım! If you think the army was like that, you're terribly mistaken. It's nowhere near to that, because before I entered the army, which is compulsory in Turkey, all I imagined we would do all this Rambo shit, like use rifles and all. Twice I used a rifle, shot only three bullets each, and that was compulsory. My first day in the army was like this. We were 800 people in one division. Generally there is like 100, 200 people, but it was overcrowded. There are check-ins going on, so everybody gets their documents and all. And the check-in lasted for 3 days in total. So in the second day, finally, it was my time. But the funny thing is, like, I was wearing a bag, which was written Italy behind it. It's a blue, like, very reflective bag. And apparently you shouldn't bring anything from outside. So everybody was with their uniforms, me with my Italy bag, checking in, like, getting the documents. Thinking like it's like a Holiday Inn receptionist checking. And then after 5 seconds, I heard someone shouting behind me. It was like I was checking in and somebody was saying something like, "Do you think this is a holiday resort? Where do you think you are, you idiot?" Well, he didn't say the idiot part, but I'm sure he meant it. And then at some point I understood that he was talking about me. I was the idiot. And my reaction was like this. Sorry. And he looked at me and he stormed off. So that was my first day of the army. So I understood that it wasn't going to be how I imagined it to be. Especially in the boot camp, the commanders were being assholes on purpose because they wanted to toughen you up. Well, that's what I thought. They don't want to toughen you up. They're just having bad days, and then they're reflecting it to us. I have stayed in the army for 6 months in total, and I experienced a lot of things. When I was in Adana at my main service, which lasted for 5 months, I remember this story where, because there are short-term soldiers and there are long-term soldiers. Short-term soldiers are the ones who graduate from the university, which is only 6 months. Long-term soldiers, it was 15 months for them, and they're the less educated ones, so less privileged ones. But we were all together, so you could also experience these people which you would never actually come across on the street, which was a great experience. But they had their peculiarities as well. One day, we were jogging in the army, and in İncirlik base, in Adana, there is a place it's full of grasses, and there are lots of frogs there. So when you pass over there, it's like everywhere. But imagine 1,000 of those quacking all the time. So one of the guys had enough. It was like 20-year-old guy from the Diyarbakır, like very thin, with darker skin. And he wanted to show his reaction to the frogs. So what he did, we were running. And behind us, the guy had enough, and he said to the frogs, I'll say this in Turkish because it's impossible to translate, but he said something like this. Kurbağalar, vır etiyon. It was something like, frogs, why am I squeaking? He wanted to say, why are you squeaking? But he said, why am I squeaking? He was very excited about this opportunity. Hoping that the frogs would stop at some point, but they didn't. And my favorite story in the army, there I understood that army was way beside anything that I would ever expect. 800 people in the boot camp, always doing the same things. You only lived in a 100 square meter space. And in army, they generally ask questions like this. They come and they say, who has a driving license? Everybody says, me. And okay, you carry the closet. So that's how they, that's how they like plucked out volunteers in army. And once they said, who studied international relations? I was like, me. Maybe I'll do something important because I just came from Belgium that time studying that exact department. So 5 of us, we went there. I was thinking, are they going to make me carry a closet again? Because they did it once. They said, who checked the website? 10 people came. After they asked 2 questions and they said, okay, this room needs moving, so please come. And we were carrying closets for the last 5 hours. In the international relations thing, it was actually for the topic. So they took 5 of us. And the major, and it's very hard to see a major in the boot camp. The highest you see is Astubay, which is like a lieutenant, more or less. And the major asked, okay, what do you do related to international relations? One guy said, oh, I taught English, blah, blah, blah. And you, I lived in abroad, blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to be the one that was chosen. So he asked me, and I gave this answer like Cem Yılmaz makes fun in his stand-ups. What do you do? I said like, After university, I moved to Belgium for a student organization where I stayed for 4 months. I got the grant from the foreign ministry. And he said, yes, you were selected. I was like, yes, what's going to happen? So they appointed a soldier to me. He took me to the cafeteria, so I could eat before the other 800, which takes around 2 hours. I finished the Game of Thrones book in 5 days on the line, so that was very effective. And we ate, and then we said, we're going to take you to the colonel, which means like we're taking you to God at that time. So I was like very excited. What am I going to do? Are they going to send me to a mission abroad? What's going to happen? And we went to his room. Of course, the soldier came. He asked, can I enter, sir? Yes. He entered, and then me behind. Come, my son. I was like, okay, wow. This is a normal room. This guy is normal. His skin is the same color, so that's okay so far. And he said, are you the one that's qualified and who studied international relations, blah, blah, blah. I said, yes. And like my curiosity was going up and up in me. And I was wondering, what is he going to want from me? And what he said, amazing. All my expectations about the army came true at that moment. He asked me this question. My daughter wants to study abroad. What should she do? And then I understood the army is going to be nowhere near what I imagined it to be. There was no exercising. Well, I lost 7 kilos actually. But that was because there was no alcohol there. Well, I learned some English because I was working with the British. I developed my English. But it was nowhere near what I expected it to be. Still, it was a great experience. I would recommend it to everyone to join the army, at least for 6 months. Thank you very much.